So as part of the task one, you're going to be getting the data for these 120 data points with an input, and then you're going to want to store it into an array. But the problem is, how if I've got the root from 1 to 6, how am I supposed to translate that into plonking it into a certain array? Well, I've got a number from 1 to 6, and I want to select a different array to put that data into. So we could use an if statement that says if the number is 1, put the data into root A, else, and then we'd nest an if statement and say if the data is 2, if root is 2, put it into root B, and so on. We'd have a horrible if statement there. It would look like this: if root equals 1, then, and then we'd have another one in there, and so on, and so on, and so on. Get very painful. So hopefully everyone appreciates that the more ideal solution is to use a case of, because we're selecting one of many paths through an algorithm, and we're matching exactly. We're saying if it's equal to 1, do this. If it's equal to 2, and so on. So that's case of, and we're switching on the variable root, which is the numbers 1 to 6, and the syntax here is obviously 1, 2, 3, and so on, 4, 5, 6. Don't forget, very useful, end case, to put that in straight away so that you can see the rough template. Now, the case of allows you to do a thing here, or it allows you to press enter and tab, and then you can put thing, and you can put as many commands in there as you want. So for simple, in this case, I'm just going to be doing a single thing on each line. So that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, on 5, and 6. And the basic syntax there is that we've got the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're going to have the input from the person. So the person will have already got, so you can do that, but the person will have already got the input. And here you're trying to decide, how do I select the array from the number? So if it's a 1, well, you would choose root A. So root A will become whatever the person has typed. So you do root A becomes whatever the person input. So or inversely, you can do input. You can do the one line input like that, and so on. Anyway, so you decide what you want to do for that to get the data in. Again, when you're testing this, what I'd really appreciate not seeing students doing is chucking in 120 data points. So for testing this, to make this a much speedier test, have a guess what you might change num days to. Something a bit more sensible. How about not 20? How about 2? Because that means you're only going to be putting in 12 data points and not 120.